Surely that can't be true. And here we are, back in the dungeon. Okay, let's rock and roll. Just to start with, I'm avoiding all spoilers for No Time to Die, so don't worry, I won't be spoiling anything. This will be a discussion on some of the official things that were announced, things that are on the Aston Martin and 007 page, so it's less a spoiler and more part of the official promotional materials. I never know how to begin these rants. Film, although an art form, is a very mechanical and technical medium. It requires skill, discipline, and a lot of practice. After all, film and film cameras are technology. And at one stage, they were cutting edge technology. So there's always been a relationship between filmmakers and technology, especially within the stories. In fact, there's something very satisfying about capturing the process of building on film. And from the very start, Bond has had a relationship with technology. The cars, the gadgets. So it seems right that cinematic Bond has had quite a relationship with his vehicles, especially Aston Martin. But in the novels, Bond's car was initially a Bentley, which we briefly saw in From Russia with Love. Then in Goldfinger, the 7th Bond novel, he drives an Aston Martin DB Mark III, which, on a side note, Bruce Wayne drives in Batman vs Superman. Coincidence? I think not. So that's why in the 1964 film Goldfinger, when Bond asks for his Bentley, Q said it's had its day, and instead he receives a gadget-filled Aston Martin. Machine guns, oil slick, ejector seat, tyre slashers. From that moment, Bond and Aston Martin were an iconic pairing. Then, once again, the DB5 showed up in Thunderball, which started a trend for the series. Lazenby in a DBS, Dalton in a Vantage. In Bond 17, Dalton's planned third film, he was going to drive the DB5. But in GoldenEye, the DB5 becomes Bond's personal car. It shows up again in Tomorrow Never Dies, and in a deleted scene in The World Is Not Enough. A Vanquish in Die Another Day. In the current era, they've really leaned into the Aston Martin relationship. DB5 and the DBS. DBS again in Quantum. The famous scene in Skyfall where the Aston Martin is revealed. The crowd cheered when I saw this in the cinema. The DB10 Inspector. And then back in the DB5 at the very end. Yes, the DB5 is in the series a lot. It's definitely Bond's personal and favourite car, so it makes sense for him to have it at the start of this new James Bond film. But 4 Aston Martins in No Time to Die? Really? I know a Bond fan complaining about Aston Martins in a James Bond movie is crazy. But why 4? It's not like Bond never moved away from Aston Martin. The second most iconic car in the series is a Lotus. The first car in the series was a Sunbeam Alpine. He drove the Lotus twice. The deal with the BMWs in the Brosnan films, Z3, 7 Series, Z8. So what's going on in this latest Bond film? Well, the DB5 is accounted for. The opening. It looks like an action-packed sequence with a lot of plot, character and mystery. Then we have the Dalton Vantage, which I think looks cool. It's a nice callback. But it's also very funny that Craig's Bond has a series of garages with classic Aston Martins stored in them. Also, it makes dramatic sense. If Bond represents the old ways and is coming out of retirement, possibly isn't as good as he used to be, this Aston Martin suits him. While this one is perfect for Lashana Lynch's character. So that explains Aston Martin number 3, if she's the new 00 agent. She's younger than Bond, probably thinks he's out of touch and not up to it. A cool way to show the difference in their character is to have one driving a brand new DBS and have the other driving an old Aston Martin. But where does that leave the 4th Aston Martin? It doesn't really make sense to me. So I've 2 ideas what's happening. 1, they've hidden it really well. I know it's been sighted in Scotland, but nothing really substantial has been seen. So we know they've shot something with this car. Maybe it's the villain's car. Sounds like overkill in the Aston department. Maybe Bond will drive it. Doesn't make sense to me. Possibly it's Idris Elba's car and he'll show up in this film. That's a joke. Idris Elba is not in this film. But officially, the Aston Martin Valhalla is in this film. Where? I have no idea. A lot of the time we get too much information and this is a nice position to be in. However, here's the second one, my drastic opinion. It's been a long road to the 25th Bond film. Different directors, different writers, They even built a gulag set in Canada. This isn't unusual for big films, but they were laying the track while the train was moving. There were a lot of pieces in this film that were made and then scrapped. So is it possible this Aston Martin sequence was shot and then subsequently scrapped? They have done stuff like this in the past. One thing we can't underestimate, this is the longest James Bond film ever. So there's plenty of time for another car chase. So we'll just have to see if all these cars are in the film come November. Please be in cinemas, not VOD. Also, what happened to the electric Aston that was heavily rumoured? This news was basically confirmed, then slowly disappeared into the background of many changes that happened during the process of making this film. It could have something to do with Aston Martin's delay in making an electric car, but it's probably best Bond doesn't use this car in the film. The Rapide is a beautiful car, but it's not suitable for Bond, especially this film, this storyline, and this character. There's one thing I can say amongst the questions and complaints about this new film. I am so pumped for it. And when I hear there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Aston Martins in this Bond film, it only gets me more excited. That's what these marketing teams are trying to do. Get us excited for a coming film. And I'm a sucker for it. So let's just wait and see what they do. One thing I'm happy about is this. They're not giving Bond the new car. Bond is sort of high tech with the Q gadgets, but old fashioned too. Watches, suits, and petrol engines. It seems like the decision to give him an old Aston Martin is one of character, which is actually the most exciting thing about the Aston Martins in this film. Well, that's another take on the Bond series. I hope people are actually out there watching these videos, or the YouTube algorithm is just coddling me. That would be grim. Well, if you're liking these videos, please subscribe and hit the like button. And comment below, what is your favourite Bond car? I'll be back next week with more Bond content and something extra because Tenet is coming out soon. Tickets are booked. Let's hope they don't get refunded like they did last time I booked tickets. Thanks for watching.